this I feel is really important. Connection before correction. So, uh, simply put, this is something which we probably face all the time, connection before correction, because correction is something we feel like is our duty, and we are like forever in the mode of what's the right thing for them to do. You may have correction coming from a point of view that these are some of your chores, these are some of the house rules, you keep your books in the place, you keep this, like very simple things like that. And when you see that that's not done, you may come to immediately say, why haven't you put your school bag away or lunch away, or even small things like that. Or they can be big behavior, there's a meltdown and you really need to immediately correct that before everybody thinks what's going on is out of proportion or judges you. So I just say connection before correction. Three very simple steps we can follow is, first of all, realize where, so the connection before correction, if you're very rooted in your being, if you're coming from a place of love, then there'll be no yelling. You are calm, just like a sea, and then you just say, hey, you haven't done this, do it. But I'm talking about the point where you come from a place like, oh my God, I have said that so many times and yet this happens and blah blah. So we have to see, we have this trigger going up up up, and we have to realize what is it that is triggering me. Am I thinking they are disrespecting my authority? Am I thinking that I have a fear of, somehow this is showing that I haven't exercised my judgment enough that the kid is behaving like that? So there is a fear rooted here. So first of all, before in a meltdown situation or a very big situation where you feel immediately the need to correct, I would say pause and then see where, like, just identify, is it coming from fear? Because fear and love are the opposite. So if there is fear, there cannot be love. If we want to be conscious, we want to be grateful, we want to come from a place where we may not know everything. And as a parent, our duty is to just support and be there and, guide as well as we can. And so just first of all, see if you're coming from fear. And if you are, as Puneet said, like the one good idea would be just, keep your toes on the floor and then, be rooted. You could try that. Or just like take a deep breath, take a break, or, and just a karate chop point, something that grounds you immediately, even little. So you are away from that mode where your temper was rising or you immediately felt the need to correct. And now to connect, just one other point would be to see that there are always two sides of each story. If you were to sit and listen to your parents talking about your childhood, I'm sure there are like many cases where our parents felt exactly the same way, the need to immediately correct. And maybe they already, they did also. And if you are trying to say, like Puneet was saying, break away from the patterns that you were raised with, right? And you're pausing and you're grounding and you're looking at the thing, am I coming from fear? Okay, then I ground myself a bit. Now, second thing is, there is always another side to the story. Suppose, for example, I'm coming from a different point. If you make a list of things to do for yourself and you're not feeling well or something else comes up and you switch that, you don't judge yourself because you know that there was a reason that you did it. If the child has strayed from doing what they were supposed to do and they know they will, that's the right thing to do and they haven't done it, there could be another side that they chose to do this because there was a pressing reason, right? So there's always the other side of the story. So one is, are you coming from fear? And pause, ground it. And then the second is, listen to their side of the story. For that we have to come to that place where we are ready and open to listening. And then the third would be to approach with love. So just try to understand first. And if you still, after hearing the story, you realize that, the kid had her exams coming up, but she still chose to, just waste entire time playing. And then you correct from there. Okay, is this the result that you wanted? Like if you wanted good grades, do you think you should have done that? Something like that, where they are able to, by the time, so the thing is, they expect you to react in a certain way, get that emotional reaction out because they are themselves probably feeling heavier about whatever was the right thing to do, whether it was to study for exam, for example, or whatever. And then when you
Perché è
don't
troppo
come
necessario.
from that, but you come from a place which is very, very centered and rooted, they feel that safety. And even if they did something wrong, they'll pick it up from there. We are just raising these little souls who are not little in any other way other than the size, right? I'm in no way can claim that I'm way more intelligent than you are just because I was born before you, or so that's what I feel. So help your body, first of all, come into alignment, release all the fear, get grounded, recognize if it was a response coming from fear. And if it was not a response coming from fear, that's the only way it can be coming from love. And that's what you want. So that was a main thing. I face this a lot of times when I have to the urge to say, I mean, how many times, I have to do the same thing because I have three kids. And then if I can in that moment pause and come from like calm myself down and then go from there, it is results differ a lot. So I think that was my take on connection before correction. And I think it's like really an important thing in my parenting journey. If I wanted desired results ever, like things to go calmly, peaceful with love, that has helped me a lot. So wanted to share that.